Now this is something that has been on my mind for a few weeks now, ever since trying the new Callaway Ti340 mini driver. So if you think in 2024, Callaway have a mini driver, Taylormade have a mini driver, yet at the start of the year, wow, the entire marketing at the start of the year was all about the Qi10 and the AI smoke drivers being the most forgiving drivers each brand has ever made. Each brand has ever made. Both promising extremely high levels of MOI, even like 10K, which is like that big, elusive number. And I'll be honest, I was seriously impressed with both of them. And I even went and got fitted for Taylormade Qi10 driver, and this is that one that sits in the middle of the range. So not the max head, but the one that sits in the middle. Nevertheless, this still promised huge forgiving options, and I've seen that. But after trying both mini drivers, I'm a little bit confused. Let me explain, but first I need just to show you a few of these numbers I've been getting, because I'll be honest, I have been loving my driver. Mine here, by the way, is just somewhere like here. And it's windy today. It's a real windy day. Let's see what numbers we can get here though. Okay, see if we can hit the fairway for one and see what numbers we get. Oh yes, we can find that fairway every single time. I could have gone straight down for the tee bag, but I want to admire that flight. That's exactly where we need to be. And look, I've seen great ball speed and clubhead speed numbers just like this, in the 160s, which for me is unreal. But let me remind you of what the idea of a mini driver is. Now don't forget, the whole marketing is that these drivers, so the Qi10 MAX driver and the AI Smoke Big MAX driver, was about it being the most forgiving. And then when I read the specs of the Taylormade Mini and the Callaway Mini driver, let me grab another ball, the whole idea of them is that they're for people who struggle with driver, because the mini drivers have shorter shafts, a slightly smaller CC head, a little bit more loft, play a little bit more like a fairway would, and then therefore more people are more likely to get on with them. Wait, hang on. 6 months ago we were all saying how good and forgiving the new 2024 drivers are from each of the brands. And yet now we've got another thing that's meant to be even more forgiving and even better. Now, what do you think on what I'm saying? Do you get my point right here? Now, I do realise this. I have said how much I love the mini drivers, and I think they are great, and I actually think so many more people should use them because of the shorter shaft, because of the more loft, and the 3-wood style play. The fact that the shorter shaft and more loft, generally more golfers will get on well with them. But as a consumer, what do you buy? Now, what are your thoughts on the new range from Callaway and Taylormade in both the AI Smoke normal driver and Qi10 normal drivers, and in the Mini? Let's see if that was a fluke, that first one. Let's see if we can get another one. Let's see if we can get another one. Oh, that's even better. That was ripped. Straight at that tree, maybe finishing left half, but that was ripped. Oh yes. I like it when I get that. I like that flat flight, that flat flight. And I like it because I get ball speed numbers a little, oh, can I put them in the bag, Alex? A little bit like this. Look, they're climbing. A 162.6, a 113.9. And for me, I'll be honest, I'm over the moon with numbers just like that. And I said this when I tested this driver for the first time out on the golf course. I was a little nervous and I thought, will it be any good? So going back to this whole story of have Taylormade and Callaway just confused us as consumers? I really think they have, because of the fact that now we're going, well, what one is the most forgiving? Should I go shorter shaft in the mini driver? But you told me that the bigger head at the start of the year, the bigger footprint, the oversized look was the way to go. Now you're saying something that's smaller is more forgiving. Well, let me just clear a few things up for you. Driver heads can't be bigger, but what Callaway and Taylormade did at the start of the year, they changed the look and the footprint to give it that very much oversized feel. I guess a bit like a placebo effect. And essentially, the bigger the head, the more MOI and the weight distributed more towards the edges means that this driver is going to be more forgiving. Now, in my opinion, the reason why the Taylormade Mini and the Callaway Mini driver will be more forgiving will be for two reasons. The fact that the shaft is shorter and the club has way more loft. Okay, shorter shaft, more loft means, okay, if it's shorter, I'm more likely to find the middle. I'm just going to find this ball here. And if there's more loft, I'm more likely to develop a bit more backspin. Now, a bit more backspin essentially allows you to keep the golf ball straighter easier. It's all very confusing, isn't it? What one is actually more forgiving? We've got those golf balls, and let's now play a couple away down 15 here. Yep, we've got water in play. This makes it a little bit more interesting, doesn't it? So I guess this just makes it a little difficult, doesn't it? If at the start of the year we said the bigger head is the more forgiving one, but now let's go shorter shaft and more loft, that makes it easier to hit. Where do you go? It also makes it hard for the fact that the most mini drivers sell out like absolute hotcakes. Okay, let's hit a couple down here. Oh yes, the line is straight at that bunker and that is like frozen rope. I just love this driver. I love this driver. It's about to pull that T-peg up, but we'll definitely hit another one. And what I loved about this driver is how consistent these numbers are right here. Ball speed, club head speed, and then we know if we get ball speed and club head speed like this, and a smash factor, we're gonna have some good distance. And I think this is really quite interesting. If I just Google the definition of a mini driver is a specialized golf club that bridges the gap between a traditional driver and the 3-wood. It boasts a smaller head size and a shorter shaft compared to most drivers, offering a sweet spot that is easier to find for improved control, whilst delivering an impressive distance potential. I go back to this question, where do we go? Is it better that we go what looks like a bigger head, a higher MOI in the more max model, or do you go shorter shaft and more loft to create an easier sweet spot to find? Oh, I don't know. But I think I do have a solution for you, and the only thing to say is you have to take into account a couple of things. What are you wanting from a driver? What are you wanting from it? Now, what I seriously mean by this is, let me just hit this one away and I'll explain. Oh yes, draw around that corner. That is seriously tiger line, but I know with this driver, we're good. Come on, that is the best yet. A 165 and a 114 practically, ball speed and club speed. Come on. Now, as you can see, I love mine. But I mean this seriously. If you are a golfer, and there are some people, and it's totally fine by the way, if you're a golfer who hates the look of a seriously flat face and way prefers the look of more loft and a shorter feeling of a shorter shaft like a 3-wood, then you have to go down that mini driver route because that's going to be way more forgiving for you. Okay, think about what I said there. Even if you're going for a max model high MOI, if you hate the look of a flat face like a driver, you will still hate that. But if you're a golfer who gets on with driver occasionally and just looking for more forgiveness, I would first personally look at the more traditional driver model. So what they have offered here in the Callaway Ai Smoke this year in the Max model, and what Taylormade have offered in their Max model too in the Qi10. But with it all being said, like if you do have the options to go and test both out on the golf course, get some data, get some numbers like I have here, then you can make the right informed decision on what driver's best for you. Okay, that is nice and long. Thank you. Because I'm a golfer who gets on well with a driver, but also loved the look of the mini driver. But that hasn't persuaded me to change out of what I have currently been gaming, purely because I don't feel there is a need to. Okay, let me get that divot. Let me get that divot. But let's summarize this for now. Let's summarize this because I feel like we've really touched on a great point. Because it has been confusing this year. And I think what brands are just trying to do is offer way more options than we actually need. So in summary, if you're someone who loves the look of more loft and a shorter shaft and hates the feel of having something so long and uncontrollable, stay away from a normal driver, go mini. if you can get your hands on it. If you're someone who gets on with driver occasionally, definitely go down the Max model route. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel here at How Good Golf. Also, don't forget to subscribe, comment what you want me to test next, or if there's any subjects in the golf industry you want me to cover.